Let's now take a look at the rest of the Add, Edit, Contact activity. What you see displayed on the screen at the moment, starting at line 59, is the event listener for the Save Contact button when that button gets clicked. Now, the onClick method is first going to check to ensure that the name edit text contains information. We're not going to allow you to place information into the database for a contact without a name. So as long as there is something in the name edit text field, then we'll create an anonymous inner class object, which is a subclass of async task. And this save contact task is going to save the contact into the database in a separate thread of execution, and then recall that on post execute will be executed in the GUI thread of execution, and all on post execute is going to do is return to whichever activity launched this activity. So it's either going to go back to the address book activity or back to the view contact activity, depending on which one performed the launch of this activity. So in the do in background method, you can see that we're simply calling save contact, and because we're not really using the parameters to do in background or on post execute, you can see that we simply specified object for async tasks 3 generic types when we create the new subclass of async task. Now, once we create the async task down here at line 84, we tell it to execute, and again, because we're not passing in any information to those other methods, you can see here we're just passing the value null cast to an object array. Now, if the name edit text is empty, instead we'll display an alert dialog with an error message indicating that you can't store a contact without a name. And finally, let's take a look at our save contact method, which is called from the asynchronous task. You can see once again here at line 105 we create an object of our database connector utility class, which we'll look at in the next video, and it's executing in the context of this activity. Then if the intent extras is equal to null, we know that we're inserting a new contact, so at that point we call the database connector utility class's insert contact method, giving it the strings representing the name, email, phone number, street, and city. And then otherwise, if the extras were not null, then at line 117 we start the else clause, where we're going to update the existing contact. And notice that for the update we have to specify the row ID so it knows specifically which row in the database needs to be updated.